Welcome to Book Revolution channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about each chapter of the best leadership book with title Wooden on Leadership by John Wooden. John Wooden is a legendary basketball coach who won 10 NCAA championships with UCLA. In this book, he shares his insights on leadership, based on his experiences as a coach and a teacher. Hello there, book revolutionaries! And here we are at Chapter 10. The carrot is mightier than the stick in our deep dive into the highly insightful book, Wooden on Leadership, by John Wooden and Steve Jamieson. This chapter is packed with valuable lessons for any leader. So, let's begin, shall we? The primary concept of this chapter revolves around Wooden's philosophy of motivation. Wooden was a great believer in the power of positive reinforcement. That's why he said, "The carrot is mightier than the stick." The title is an allusion to a metaphor of a donkey being driven by a carrot dangled in front of it or being prodded from behind with a stick. Wooden chose the carrot, or the reward, over the stick, or the punishment, as a means of motivation. Now, the key teaching from this chapter is a profound yet simple insight. The most effective leaders lead by inspiring and rewarding, rather than threatening and punishing. This crucial lesson is of immense value because it challenges traditional hierarchical command and control styles of leadership. Wooden emphasized the power of positive reinforcement in the quote, "I like to use praise as a tool, to reinforce things I wanted repeated. I always tried to be specific about what was done correctly, too." This valuable insight illustrates Wooden's belief in reinforcing good behavior rather than constantly pointing out the bad. He made it a point to be specific in his praises, so his players knew exactly what they did right. The importance of this approach lies in the positive environment it creates, which encourages team members to perform better, not out of fear, but out of the desire to excel and contribute positively to the team. It cultivates a culture of trust, confidence, and respect, all the crucial elements that make a great team. But, implementing this approach isn't without its challenges. Leaders often resort to the stick, because results from the carrot aren't immediate and are sometimes less tangible. It requires patience, and it requires an authentic appreciation of others' efforts. The story of how Wooden handled a player who had been underperforming serves as an example of his approach. Instead of criticizing the player, Wooden praised him when he did well in training. This encouraged the player to put in more effort, and eventually, his performance improved. So, to all the leaders out there, Wooden's message is this: be patient, be authentic, and remember that your words can build confidence or they can destroy it. Choose wisely. Happy readers! Next, we dive even deeper into Chapter 10 of the phenomenal book, Wooden on Leadership. We're going to explore the chapter titled "The Carrot is Mightier Than the Stick" in much more detail. The central theme of this chapter, dear happy reader, is the concept of positive reinforcement over punitive measures. Legendary coach John Wooden believed firmly in this method, and hence the title of this chapter, "The Carrot is Mightier Than the Stick." Let's explore this further. Wooden believed in a leadership style that veered away from the typical authoritarian norm, favoring instead a culture of inspiration and motivation. In his words, "I like to use praise as a tool, to reinforce things I wanted repeated. I always tried to be specific about what was done correctly, too. Such a profound quote that forms the bedrock of his philosophy. Now, let's delve deeper into the invaluable concepts laid out in this chapter. Wooden's leadership philosophy, illustrated beautifully through the metaphor of carrot and stick, emphasizes the importance of highlighting and praising good behavior rather than scolding and punishing mistakes. According to Wooden, leaders should use the carrot more often than the stick. He believes that leaders should focus on rewarding good behavior rather than punishing bad behavior. He argues that this approach will create a positive work environment and motivate team members to perform at their best. One of the key takeaways from this chapter is that leaders should be proactive in recognizing and rewarding good behavior. Wooden suggests that leaders should look for opportunities to praise team members and acknowledge their contributions. He believes that this will create a culture of positivity and encourage team members to continue performing at a high level. In this context, let's consider a graph that Wooden often used. Picture a simple bar graph, happy readers, with two vertical bars. One bar signifies the level of team morale and enthusiasm when carrot leadership is employed. The other represents the morale when the stick approach is used. Wooden demonstrated through this graph that the carrot bar is almost always higher than the stick. This visual tool helped him drive home the point that positive reinforcement leads to more productivity, higher morale, and, in turn, better results. Yet, as Wooden puts it, leading with the carrot is not without its hurdles. It demands genuine appreciation, patience, and understanding from the leader. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But he stands firm that this approach creates a more positive, trusting, and high-performing team environment. To illustrate his point, Wooden shares a story about a player on his basketball team who was struggling with his shooting. Rather than punishing the player for his poor performance, Wooden decided to reward him for his effort. He gave the player a carrot, in the form of a small card that said, "Good shot." The player was so motivated by this small reward that he went on to become one of the team's best shooters. Another important point that Wooden makes in this chapter is that leaders should be consistent in their use of positive reinforcement. He argues that team members will quickly lose motivation if they feel that rewards are arbitrary or inconsistent. Leaders should establish clear criteria for rewards and consistently apply them to all team members. As happy readers, I know you understand the immense value that this lesson holds. And I want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and how you plan on implementing this strategy in your leadership journey. Remember, every bit of knowledge gained can be a game changer, and we are here to make that game change happen together. So, I encourage you to engage in the comments, ask questions, share insights, and let's keep this book revolution moving forward. Well, happy readers, we've reached the end of our journey through Chapter 10. The carrot is mightier than the stick, from Wooden on Leadership. It's been a deeply insightful dive, hasn't it? This chapter is indeed a treasure chest of wisdom, teaching us the power of positive reinforcement over punishment. Wooden's conviction that the carrot of praise leads to a more fruitful outcome than the stick of reprimands is a lesson that stands out. It's a paradigm shift from the conventional command and control style of leadership, urging us to think differently. In conclusion, happy reader, Chapter 10 of Wooden on Leadership is all about the power of positive reinforcement. Wooden argues that leaders should focus on rewarding good behavior rather than punishing bad behavior. He believes that this approach will create a positive work environment and motivate team members to perform at their best. Leaders should be proactive in recognizing and rewarding good behavior, and they should be consistent in their use of positive reinforcement. By following these principles, leaders can create a culture of positivity and motivate their team members to achieve great things. However, the chapter doesn't shy away from highlighting the challenges of this approach. It takes patience, genuine appreciation, and a belief in one's team members. But, as Wooden demonstrated with the example of the underperforming player, it's worth the effort. Though Wooden's teachings are rooted in sports leadership, their applicability is universal. Regardless of whether you're a team leader at work, a teacher, a parent, or a friend, you can apply these principles in any scenario that requires motivation and leadership. The next time you need to inspire better performance, remember to offer specific praise for what's being done right. That's your carrot. The only weakness I can highlight is not from the chapter itself but from our perception. This approach may seem too simplistic or too lenient. But that's the beauty of Wooden's wisdom. It's simple, yet powerful. It's lenient, yet effective. As we close this chapter, I want you to ask yourself, am I using the carrot or the stick? Remember, the ability to foster a positive environment and encourage self-motivation in others is a key leadership trait, and it's a skill we can all benefit from improving. Keep this chapter close to your heart, happy readers. The power of the carrot can indeed make you a more effective leader, and in turn, a better person. As we move forward in our exploration of Wooden on Leadership, we find ourselves on the threshold of another profound chapter. This next chapter is called Make Greatness Attainable by All. Now, imagine the transformative power of this concept, happy readers. To make greatness attainable by all, isn't it something truly inspirational? The essence of this chapter lies in the belief that every individual has the potential for greatness, and it's a leader's role to guide them there. As we transition from the power of positive reinforcement to unlocking potential, we continue our journey to delve deeper into Wooden's unique leadership philosophy. We will dissect the methods he used to foster an environment where greatness wasn't just a possibility, but an attainable reality for each of his team members. In this upcoming journey, we'll be exploring how Wooden ensured his players understood that their value extended beyond their athletic skills. He cultivated in them a belief that they could achieve greatness, not just in basketball, but in every aspect of their lives. As we step into this exciting new chapter, I look forward to hearing your thoughts, your reflections, and your insights on this empowering concept. So, stay with us, happy readers. This is where our journey gets even more exciting. We're not just reading a book. We're transforming our lives, one chapter at a time. Remember, our slogan says it best. life will never be the same. Until then, keep reading, keep learning, and let's continue our book revolution. The complete list of videos, including chapters already available and the ones coming up, can be found in our YouTube playlist, link in the description. Be sure to save them all and come back to each as you find the time. Our mission here at Book Revolution is to ensure that life will never be the same for our happy readers, just by providing you the essence of these fantastic books, even if you're too busy to read them all. So, as always, stay tuned, happy readers, and remember that a revolution begins with a single step. Thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. Please do sincerely to comment thanks in comment box and share your thought here too. See you soon.